like that, we cast it on this dude, he disappeared, and we shine just like that, with advantage, because we're invisible. So we're going around as invisible mage and doing some crazy stuff from invisibilities. That's our play style. Hail and Mage's Adventures, welcome to the world of Baldurs Gate 3. It's me, the Spud King, and I present you my new wizard build. So today we're playing our wizard and we will be making Illusion School Wizard. So without further ado, let's go. For our race of choice I picked Drow, and our subrace is Lost Sworn Drow. When you're playing wizard, it's nice to start as human to get proficiency with some armors, light armor and shields to get more IC later on in the game. We will be playing today Illusion Wizard, and we will play as like stealthy guy who make a lot of illusions and other cool stuff. So class of course is wizard, and we got cantrips, and my favorite stuff is firebolt and shocking grasp to have long range cantrip, short range cantrip, melee range cantrip basically, and mage hand for some illusions. We play an illusion wizard after all today. So spells of choice, we're picking Long Strider and Mage Armor for our Wall Day buffs, and we're making Fog Cloud to blind creatures, Chromatic Orb for some cool magics, Sleep to have a little bit control in early game, and sometimes we just need to hit, so Magic Missile is still our choice. Our background is Criminal, who like deception and stealth. And our abilities is pretty balanced. So, skill proficiency not matter too much, you can pick Arcana History, like every other wizard will do. And we get in 10 Strength, 10 Charisma, 12 Wisdom, 14 Dexterity, 13 Constitution with +1 to make it 14, and 14 Intelligence with +2 to make it 16. Intelligence is our main primary ability, so we need it a lot. And our prepared spell for level 1 will be Long Strider, Mage Armor, Fog Cloud, and Chromatic Orb. Just like that, let's continue into the game. So, as level 1, our day will start something like this. You just cast Long Strider on yourself to increase your movement speed. You cast your Mage Armor on yourself to increase your armor class. Right now we're getting 12. 10 base +2 from dexterity, and after mage armor we will get this 15, so we'll get +3 from mage armor, and it's pretty nice and cool armor class for early game. Just after that we used our spell slot. So why we used only one? Because Long Strider, if casted outside of the battle, will be as ritual and not require any spell slots. If you're not familiar how this works, we basically got the spell slots, 2 spell slots of level 1, and we can cast level 1 spells with these spell slots. And there's like one level 1 spell slot to cast the spell, and they will use the spell slots. And the cantrips, you can use them as much as you like, just like that. You can cast them 1 million times and they not using any resources, just like that. So when you cast it, you lost 1 spell slot, and you want to go in the battle with more spell slots. That's where come Wizard Cool Future, Arcane Recovery Charge, and between battles you can use it to recover your spell slots once per long rest. Just like that, our wizard is kinda ready to go, but first of all let's level up of course. And in the battle your main ability will be to cast this Fog Cloud, just like that, to make this fog, and everyone in the fog will be blinded, and then you can just drop this Chromatic Orb in the fog with any element you like. So maybe you like this lighting stuff, so just drop it in the fog and hit your enemies with this. So it's cool and fun and really interesting stuff. So let's level up a little bit more, and on level 2 we're making this illusion choice, so our subclass will be Illusion Wizard. This will give us ability to learn spells with discount and illusion spells of course, and our new cantrip improved Minor Illusion. That's why we're not picking Minor Illusion as level 1 cantrip. And we can cast it as bonus action in a fight, and we can remain hidden while we're casting this spell. And this can be casted while we are silenced, so this is like a really improved Minor Illusion. For our spells of choice you can pick whatever you like, but as the Illusion Mage I recommend sticking with some like controlling stuff. So we got our damage spell, it's like Chromatic Orb, we can do some damage with Magic Missile of course, and pick some different controlling or exploration stuff. So Feather Fall is nice if you need immunity to jump from some high cliffs, and Tasha's Hide of Slaughter to disable enemies that got low wisdom is nice ability to have. Level 3. So as wizard you learn a lot of spells as you already see, And we can prepare more spells when we level up. So with each level up, we can prepare more and more and more spells. So that's how it works. And you can prepare them between battles. So in the battle, you will be only able to cast these spells, but between the battles, you can change them and cast different spells. So on level 3, you get access to this level 2 spells. And for today's build, we will stick with illusion spells, of course. So it will be Blur and Phantasmal Force. So let's go into the battle. So why we picked this criminal background? First of all, look at this line of sight. You can press shift to look on this line. Every enemy is looking at us, so basically they will see us all the time. But we can use this minor illusion, so they will change their line of sights over here, just like over here. Look over here, guys! Yeah, so everyone looking over here right now. And we changed their line of sights. Now we can freely move, and most importantly, we can use our hide action first. And then we can go to other area. Maybe try to go to the back of this enemy. Just like that. So that's like our last place where we was seen by enemies. And most of the time they will just go in this area and try to investigate where we are. If we hide successfully, then we will be hidden on the next turn and we can attack with advantage. So that's why let's go with our Githyanki over here and let me show you this stuff. So as you can see, this enemy attacks the Githyanki, this enemy goes to the Githyanki too, and suddenly we lost our stealth check. But still, it's like useful strategy to do. Additionally, you can concentrate on Blur, for example, and all enemies will have disadvantage on attacks against you. So that's cool because we got a pretty high armor class for these levels, 15, and with disadvantage it's almost impossible to hit us. So what we can do in the fight? Basically we want to use this fog cloud on every enemy we see, and if we need to get a larger area from the spell, we can upcast it. When you upcast the spell, we get larger area. So as you can see, you just cover all area in the stuff, everyone is blinded, and we get one more minor illusion over here as bonus action. Just like that. So every enemy is like freaking out what's going on, what's happening while we going and hiding over here. And that's your like main idea, to go and to always freak them out what's going on with a lot of illusions. And when your allies blinded and enemies blinded, you got kind of same chance to hit your enemies. But if you go outside of the fog cloud and try to attack these enemies, if you got this dark vision, you will be able to attack with advantage on these guys. So, but if you don't have a dark vision, better go inside and then attack from inside, because you will be like on the same rules as your enemy, with your allies, of course. But most of the time, your strategy will be around this spell, Chromatic Orb. It's doing 3d8 damage if you cast it with thunder damage, or 2d8 with any other damage type. So, for example, you can cast it with fire damage and it's doing nice damage. And as you can see, we got Dark Vision as Drow. That's why we picked Drow race when we started this illusion wizard. And we got advantage, so like there's very high chance that we will hit this guy, basically 99% chance to hit. And another way is that we can play it, we can use Phantasmal Force. It's nice, it's 1d6 damage, but it will lose our concentration. So you need to think what you need more. Do you need this fog cloud? And while enemies don't have dark vision, for example, basically can stay in this cloud and feel completely safe and use your chromatic orbs. Just make sure not to get yourself on fire, and you can cast it on your enemy or on the ground. If you want to affect many enemies, you can cast it on the ground or just on the enemy, and it will affect surrounded enemies too. And always you can use this bonus action, Minor Illusion. Don't forget to use it as often as possible. And their investigation failed, so they still looking on this illusion. And that's like the coolest part, because you can just hide yourself with an action. You can use this Minor Illusion as while you're hidden, everyone failing the investigation, you will just change your position and attack from different angle in the next round, just like that. So it's really strategic type of wizard. And as you can see, enemy just tried to find us, but he failed to do so. But if you don't need concentration on this fog cloud, use Phantasmal Force and cast it on your enemies, but make sure to check their intelligence. So it's using intelligence saving throw with difficulty class of 13 on this level. But if you hit your enemy, you will keep your concentration on it. And basically right now, every turn he will get 1d6 damage. And at the first turns it will be psychic damage, but then it can change to any other damage type. So if we use this Phantasmal Force on enemy, then we can use Chromatic Orb of any type of element, and Phantasmal Force will do damage of this element. So basically you can do cold damage every turn. And that's nice if your enemy got some specific resistances. So that's a really cool spell. And as you can see, he just did with this Phantasmal Force, and we can finish them with our Chromatic Orb lighting, just like that. And yeah, don't forget they're doing kind of different stuff. As you can see, we just threw this lightning bolt and I missed. I threw it on the ground, but I need to hit my target, and then it will create this large area on the ground of this electrified stuff. So when they stand in on electrified area, they will get damage each turn, and while they fail in their investigation, they will always look on this minor illusion. So why it's cool? Because now you can go and change your spot and again hide yourself from your enemies, or use your Chromatic Orb on your enemies to inflict large damage just like that. So if you're enjoying this illusion playstyle, you will enjoy these early levels of this type of build. But let's level up and finish our illusion build. Level 4, that's where we get additional feat and we get an ability improvement +2 into intelligence, our main attribute. Cantrips, we don't care right now, so pick whatever you like, it doesn't matter. For our spells, we can pick invisibility as our one more illusion spell, and Misty Step to be able with bonus action to travel around the battlefield. And yeah, cool part, right now on this level 4 you can basically become invisible, and invisibility breaks when you're doing attack or just basically any other action. So when you're trying to do anything, you will become visible. But if you're invisible, you can use this as bonus action, cast this little cat, and you will stay hidden. So with this spell, you basically can attack from any angle that you like on the battlefield, and without this hide action being necessary. On level 5 we get an additional spells, and now from level 3. And let's continue with our illusion school with Fear and Hypnotic Pattern. So Hypnotic Pattern can hypnotize enemies, creatures, and they will not be able to attack you. They cannot move or act, so it's basically complete paralysis of every creature for 2 turns. Really nice disable. And Fear is nice stuff. You can fear your enemies and they will drop their weapons, possibly. Possibly they will drop their weapons and run away. It's like cool future when enemies lose the saving throw, they lose their weapons, and you can take their weapons and laugh at them. Level 6. More spells, but most importantly you get this action, See Invisibility, so you can see invisible creatures right now and reveal them to other teammates. For spells, I recommend taking something that can help you in your adventures, maybe Knock to unlock some objects, and remove curse to remove curses. Basically it can help sometime. On level 7 you get access to level 4 spells, and now we get access to this greater invisibility, and that's super great stuff, and this will be casted on ourselves because we got this proficiency in stealth checks. And what greater invisibility doing when you casting your spells, you can still be invisible, so this is cool stuff. You can cast it on yourself before the fight, then go into the fight, and if you're lucky, you will be invisible and you still be doing spells. And of course, as our illusion mage, we want this phantasmal killer, so it's doing 4d10 psychic damage, but this creature can no longer move and will be easier to hit. That's crazy stuff, very strong spell. So then we get into level 8, and don't forget, you got limited spell slots, so I'm not recommending to pick a lot of spells from level 4, maybe just to stop on already taken spells and get some spells from previous levels. So we still can use this shield as a reaction, it's a nice spell, it's hard to hit us, so we got nice armor class right now, so this will improve our armor class by 5 by using only level 1 spell slot. Pretty nice stuff. So basically right now pick whatever you like, just make sure most of the time the spell's not using concentration, so better just pick some damaging spells. And of course we get an additional feat, so ability improvement to intelligence could be nice, but we need to keep our concentration on most of our spells. That's why nice feat on level 8 is Warcaster. It will give you advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration. So level 9 gives ability to cast level 5 spells, and there's only one illusion spell, Seeming. You can disguise up to 4 party members, and it's mostly fun spell, mostly like exploration, role-playing stuff, so we definitely better pick Hold Monster. It's a nice level 5 spell to use, and again pick spells that you like from previous levels. On level 10 we get in additional subclass Future, Illusory Self, so this can magically make our foe to miss attack on us. And it's pretty nice, pretty reasonable spell that will help you survive most of the time. So for cantrips, again, pick whatever you like. For spells, take some spells from level 2 and level 3. And on level 11, we finally get in this level 6 spells. Problem with most of the spells, they require concentration, that's why nice pick will be Disintegrate. It's one single spell that requires no concentration, and it's constantly doing at least 50 damage. So it's like nice pick. Stable 50 damage is really cool stuff. And any other spell. Level 12, again 2 spells, pick whatever you like. And ability improvement, we can go into +2 into intelligence to increase our intelligence proficiency, to increase our spell difficulty class, or we can add +2 into constitution to have more HP and more chances to keep our concentration. So just pick whatever you like. I like to stick more with intelligence as our main attribute. And just like that, let's go into the late game fights. So late game build will be something like this. One level 6 spell Disintegrate, one level 5 spell Hold Monster, Phantasmal Killer as our level 4 spell, great spell, Greater Invisibility, very nice. Then different elements, and with different elements we can basically use Chromatic Orb and Glyph of Warding, and we can cast it as a lot of elements. We can still use Fireball, we can still use Fear to frighten our enemies, Hypnotic Pattern, Phantasmal Force, very good, Misty Step, don't forget to take it into the fight, and of course Long Strider and Mage Armor. This our bread and butter spells, and you can pick like whatever other spells you like in the battle, so Shield is really nice pick too. Again, basically you start your day with Mage Armor, you start your day with Long Strider, and don't forget to upcast it, to cast it on everyone, because it's not using any spell slot. Then just use your Arcane Recovery to recover lost spell slots. Use C Invisibility so no one can get past your eyes. And basically your fight will look something like this. You go into Greater Invisibility, it's level 4 spell. And you can run around and decide when you want to attack. Then when you want to attack, you use any spell that not require your concentration. So that's like big part, because this is like our controlling stuff. It's Fear, it's Hypnotic Pattern, it's Hold Monster, it requires your concentration. Phantasmal Force requires concentration, but Chromatic Orb or Glyph of Warding requires no concentration, Fireball not require concentration, and you can have some more not concentration spells available to you. And then you can just go and cast the spells from invisibility, just like that. We cast it on this dude, he disappeared, and we succeeded our stealth check with great invisibility. So we can go and cast more spells that don't require any concentration, just like that, with advantage, because we're invisible. So just like that, we're going around as invisible mage and doing some crazy stuff from invisibility. That's our play style. And let me show you this in a big battle, of course. So we know enemies is somewhere nearby, and you basically casting this Greater Invisibility and going into the fight, just like that. And basically we're going in and trying to succeed on our stealth saving throws. But again, we can use this minor illusion, so all enemies looking in different ways. That's like cool stuff. But if they succeed in investigation, they will understand that it's illusion and it will disappear for this turn. So you can use your Chromatic Orb, and yeah, you can upcast it. So don't forget, you can use any spell you like, and you can upcast it up to level 6 for really nice damage. For example, Chromatic Orb with Shunder damage on level 6, doing from 8 to 64 damage, 8d8, very nice stuff. Or you can use a Glyph of Warding. So you're right now invisible, and you can make this Glyph of Warding. What it's doing, it's basically making some kind of trap. And you can make Sleeping Trap. It will put creatures into sleep. And that's cool part, because first sleep requires enemies to have at least some HP, so you can't cast it on high HP enemies, but this trap can put you into sleep without caring about your health points, but you need to succeed dexterity saving throw not to get into sleep mode. So we can pick like whatever damage type we like, maybe we like cold damage, and cast it over here. If we succeed our stealth check, we just destroyed 2 enemies and we are still invisible mage. So that's our illusion school mage. So being invisible gives you, of course, multiple benefits. First of all, you're invisible and you always get advantage on your checks. And that's basically easier to hit your target with any spells that require you to hit them. So it's like Firebolt, doing 3d10 damage, pretty reasonable for cantrip. And basically you can pick as much spells that require you to succeed attack roll as possible when you're playing this build. So let's just hit this guy with Shocking Grasp from melee range with 100% chance of hitting. And just like that we failed our stealth check, so we are not invisible right now. But we can still cast Misty Step to reposition ourselves, or cast this little cat and move away a little bit. Whatever you like to do. And when you lose concentration on Greater Invisibility, you can cast it one more time, or you can go into more useful spells. For example, Hypnotic Pattern will require Wisdom saving throw. So this dude got 12 Wisdom, pretty low. Let's try to use it on him, and make sure not to use it on yourself or your allies. I'm not sure if it's casted on yourself, it will hypnotize you, but it works on your allies. It at least should work on your allies. So yeah, it works on your allies. And this dude is hypnotized. So now he can't move, take actions, bonus actions, or reactions. And basically we can do whatever we like versus him. Problem, we don't have any advantage, so it's like not like super useful stuff, but it's useful against crowds of enemies, so you can hypnotize many enemies at once. Another cool part is fear, of course, and you can fear a lot of enemies. And when they feared, they will probably lose their weapon. And if this guy loses his weapon, you can just pick up the sword and just run away with his sword. And last but not least, your bread and butter spell for last levels is Phantasmal Killer, level 4 illusion spell. It requires Wisdom saving throw, so you need to pick targets with low Wisdom, of course. This target is very nice and useful, and you can basically use this Phantasmal Killer on him with upcasted to level 5, for example, for 75% hit chance. And if you hit, yeah, we hit him. While we're keeping our concentration, he will take 4d10 damage every turn. And he can't move, and we got advantage against him right now. That's our like best spell. So it's easier to hit him right now. But I don't see advantage, but it's written like easier to hit, maybe only for us. And as you can see, he getting this damage, and while we're doing this damage, while keeping our concentration, we can use different spells. That's make us a really cool mage, because right now, to be the big boss, we're doing this 4d10 damage every turn. And additionally, we can make these other spells. So this like with just one action of crazy DPS in one turn. That's like crazy stuff. And last but not least, you can basically fireball everyone if you need to. Just like that. So now you can go and have fun with this Illusion School Wizard. Pretty fun to play style, really interesting and unique. So go enjoy Baldurs Gate 3 and see you in the next videos, guys.